I want movies shown here that would not get to Orlando if it weren't for Enzian. That's like an obligation that you have to have a book on your shelf, even though only 3 people are going to read it. Those 3 people are key, that they have access to that book. That's the same thing here.
Enzian is a small flower that grows up in the Alps in Austria. It's delicate, it's rare, it's endangered. It grows in these very craggy, rocky, barren, sort of mountainous landscapes. And the idea is that this theater gets to be that tiny little gem.
We are a series of components that is more than just a movie, that is more than a subtitled movie, and that is more than a movie that only is accessible to a limited crowd.
Just the other day I ran into someone who goes, "Oh, the Enzian, that's the place with all the subtitled films. I don't really go there because I don't like those kinds of movies." The harder part is getting people to understand there's going to be something in that broad of a genre that they're going to find fascinating. And what Enzian tries to do is bring that to people and get people to come and take a chance and see it and realize that there's so much in that field that's fascinating.
Whenever I come across somebody who's never experienced the Enzian, it's always a struggle for words of how I should best describe it. There's so many things you can talk about. You could say you should come up to the Enzian and try the food, or you should come up to the Enzian and see a good movie, or you should come up to the bar and I'll make you a great cocktail. I mean, there's so many different ways you can get people through these doors, and I've never had anybody go like, "Oh, I went to the Enzian, that sucked."
Our demographics that we hit are young college students and older retirees. When you get into film exhibition, the nuts and bolts of it are always a little more intricate than you would imagine, especially a theater that's as unique as this, where we're a fully functional restaurant and movie house all at the same time, while trying to maintain this attitude of presenting, important or artistic films, as well as, some of the more fun, campy things that you still won't see at a normal theater.
Enzian officially opened in '85, so this year is the 25th anniversary. The place was thought of by my aunt, Tina Tietke, and she designed it in the ambiance of her childhood summer home in Austria. It was a beautiful castle. It has this, gorgeous courtyard that has a fountain set in the middle of it that the fountain outside is actually a replica of.
I love the different options that they provide. You can see old movies that you wouldn't think you could ever see again on a big screen, and you can see new movies that you wouldn't otherwise see in a big theater.
Moving on to some upcoming cult classics this summer here at the Enzian. June 29th, come and join one of the greatest car chases in cinema history when we screen Bullet, starring one of cinema's classic badasses, Steve McQueen. On July 13th, as the perfect accompaniment to his new film Micmacs, which opens at the Enzian later this summer, we'll have Jean-Pierre Gene's City of Lost Children. On July 27th, please come witness the soft, subtle, and emotional side of the late, great Patrick Swayze with the ass-kicking extravaganza, Roadhouse.
As far as our cult classic series is concerned, we try to book those films 2 to 4 months out. We do have a poll online that individual users can vote on, and we use that as a guideline for helping select about half of our programming, maybe a little more.
I want Enzian to be a destination for people who love movies. Not only to see movies, but to hang out and talk about movies. I want it to be a comfortable place which is consistent with what movie lovers do. We watch movies and then we argue about movies. So what we have here is we have a place where you watch a movie, and we have a bar where you go out there and just fight over the movie.
I don't think that you'll find anyone who can have quite the same sense of pride that my family does in seeing what Encian has become. It's good to see that people are starting to have, like the people who work here are starting to build that same sense of pride that, you know, my family's always had in this place. And you can see that growing throughout the community.
When the lights go down and you're watching the movie, in general, you're alone. It's between you and the movie. And one of the things I want to do is make it more of a social experience. There's nothing I can do once the movies start, because that is the essence of movies, is I get into the movie, and it is me and the movie and my friends and the movie, not my friends and I. We give you the location and the ability to interact with your friends around the movie. If you're at a traditional movie theater, you go there, you're really basically all alone fighting for a seat, and then you're bored waiting for it to start. And when it's over, you want to get the hell out of there. I want this to be the third home, as it is my third home, the third place with a movie theme.